Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. So, do you find yourself saying that you're way too busy and just don't have enough time to exercise? I hear you. That was one of my top reasons for not putting in the time or the effort. And the thing is, I just didn't like being out of shape, getting fatter, having no energy, and time seemed to be ticking by faster and faster. So I figured out some ways to fit in exercise into your crazy busy schedule, and I'm going to share that with you. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, The Power of Possibility, Passion, and Purpose, and I want to thank you for tuning in. In this episode, you're going to learn some simple ways. I'm not going to overcomplicate this, but you're going to learn some simple ways to use time to your advantage, especially if you're wanting to get fit, lose weight, have more energy in your life, those sort of things. And you're going to love these tips. Some of them you're going to say, yeah, I just need to get real and legit on those. But we'll talk about those in a second. Before I get to all the good stuff, I want to thank you for tuning in, whether this is the first time that you've been on the Power Blast podcast, tuning in on your podcast app or on YouTube. I just want to thank you very much for being here. If you are on the podcast app, please leave an honest rating and review. That would help others discover this show. And if you are over on YouTube, catching that video version, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and that notifications bell so you get alerts every time a new show drops. And hey, it'd be crazy cool if you hit the like button on this episode and dropped in a comment, because I do respond to those, and that also helps with the YouTube algorithm. So you absolutely rock, my friend. So let's talk about this time thing. Now, you've probably learned all these things over the years on time management things, time management skills. You might even have trackers and apps and planners and gizmos and gadgets to just help you out with managing time. But the thing is, we all have the same amount of time. So it's trying to figure out some ways to make it work for you. And I get it. You know, each of us, we have our own version of crazy busy, to where it just seems like we just can't fit in one more thing. And a lot of times, exercise and nutrition, they become elusive, and we become addicted to convenience. What's the simplest way to get out of anything that's going to take a perceived amount of time? How can I make this easier? And I love simplifying, but when you're getting out of shape and when you're having no energy, you start to fall into these habits and into this convenience mindset where, and not to say that you're lazy, but for me, it just seemed like I was taking the lazier way out or the easy way out. So I didn't have to deal with putting in the effort that I knew was going to take a long time to get some results. So the tips I'm going to share with you today, I'm just going to give to you straight of what you need to do if indeed you are serious, and I'm assuming you're serious about getting in shape, losing weight, feeling happy as you walk past a mirror. I mean, a lot of times it's just feeling happy in your own skin, right? So just here's my tips for you here. First thing, you've got to make yourself the priority. A lot of us, we put ourselves last, or we don't make it a priority. And you just got to make that decision that exercise is important, and you're going to put in the time and the effort in to taking care of yourself with exercise, with smart nutrition, before taking care of anything else. It's not the afterthought. It's not putting it on the back burner and seeing where it will squeeze in. No, you're popping in, and it's the top priority. You've got to do this. Being healthy and being in shape, that can positively impact so many areas of your life: productivity, relationships, energy, happiness, career. You could probably add to the list more. So if you make exercise and eating healthy a high priority, you're going to figure out a time slot and a way to get it done. Okay? So priorities, That's top priority. Okay. Next one is to have a goal. I mean, you got to know where you're going to go, or at least the direction of where you want to go. Just mindlessly going about things on your journey isn't very effective. It may work a little bit here, but chances are you're probably going to give up along the way. So if you're wanting to lose weight, increase muscle, become more athletic, change your eating habits, manage your stress, improve your chances of getting a new career, whatever those goals are, you got to get those down. Post them all around your house of what it is, so they're in your face all of the time. So that's what I did when I started out. I was like, man, I've got to have the reminders. Next one is to create a timeline. Like I've a lot of times people at the beginning of the year, they create this timeline of by the end of the year. They really don't put in a solid date other than by the end of the year, this would be nice if I even stick to it. But I like starting with like a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day challenge or a timeline of some sort. Knowing very well that when I get to that 30, 60, or 90-day time frame, I'm not done. I'm not quitting. It's not like I'm done with that. That's just the start. This is a healthy lifestyle. It's not a temporary fixed mindset sort of thing. For example, if you want to lose 50 pounds in the next 6 months, so you've got it down, you look at 6 months and you get that date down, then you dial it back. That's about 8 pounds a week. So that's going to take some serious discipline. It's totally doable. But it's going to take some discipline and need a plan and things like that. Which leads me to my next tip is to figure out what you need to do and what you need to stop doing. Most likely the things that you need to start doing is exercising, changing your eating habits, drinking tons of water, getting great sleep. So you want to take those on one at a time. For me, I started with exercise. A lot of times people start with food, but I started with exercise. Then I started improving my healthy eating and getting in a lot more water. And I'm not saying the minimum amount of water. I'm like overachiever on water because my body needed it. And then dialing in my sleep. So figure out what the best thing is for you and get that going. And then stick to a plan and don't overthink it. That's what halted me for so many years was I would think of a plan and then I would overthink how it was going to get done and all of the nuances of every little detail so much that and then what would be in the way and what would stop me that I literally stopped myself. And I'm like, I'm the one stopping me. I need to start a plan and stick to it and not overthink it. You know your life, you know what your schedule is, you know where the realistic time pockets are that you could actually get in exercise if you took it serious and made yourself a priority. So it's figuring out what time of day works best for you to exercise. Typically, it's when you have the most energy, but that doesn't always work all the time with other events that happen. So you got to make it work in another way and get rid of the excuses. Make it convenient for yourself and make it easy for you to get started each time. Where are the running routes in your neighborhood, or where will you go cycling? Is figuring out where you're going to fit in your breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. Don't skip that. Figuring out, are you going to work out at home, or is there a gym that will match your needs a little bit better? For me, the gym was going to be a big excuse for me to avoid. So I'm like, you know what? I can eliminate that. And I can eliminate the travel time and all the extra stuff that goes along with having to get ready and go to a gym. I did it right there in my own home. And it's very convenient and made that happen. And in the amount of time that it would take me to get to the gym and all that other stuff, I had my workout done. Boom. Time issue solved. So take the time, get a schedule, take out the guesswork, and stick to your plan. Okay. Next tip is to adjust and pivot along the way. When things won't go as planned, it just will happen that way. But my very first thing was I got started and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot we have Easter weekend. Well, that's going to sabotage everything. No, I flipped that script and I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be. I'm going to make healthy choices and I'm actually going to get a workout done on Sunday morning. Wow, go figure. And so instead of thinking, woe is me, I was like, I can do this. So be like a river. When things don't go as planned or you're hitting obstacles, be like a river. Find another path, find another way. Just keep going forward. Next tip is to be effective and be efficient with your time. I mean, you can crush a super effective workout in just 30 minutes. Over the years, so many of us have come to thinking that we need to spend a couple hours in the gym. I'm just like, seriously. And that was happening when I was at a gym a couple years ago. I watched so many people just wasting time, lingering, doing social media things. I was like in and out in 30 minutes, maybe 45, depending on that. It's just don't waste time lingering. It's powering from next move to next move and then just keep going, using combination exercises or HIIT training to be really, really effective. I mean, remember, consistency, that's going to help you win. So make it easy to be consistent without overthinking it. That's going to smooth your path and remove a lot of the obstacles that get in the way. Another way when it comes to efficiency and being effective is to use a day or two for healthy meal planning and healthy meal prepping. That will give you fast grab and go meals for the week so that eating healthy doesn't have to be this thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I got to make all this stuff and I don't have time to do it because Wednesdays are our busy time of week. It's like, use Sundays. Everything's there. It's like, oh, Sundays or Wednesdays are now super easy because I have all my stuff prepped and it's in the freezer in the fridge. So it's creating an effective meal plan, shopping smart at the grocery store, picking 1 or 2 days just for meal prepping. You can do it. Or packing gym clothes and having them ready, or having them ready to hit the ground running when you wake up in the morning. Next tip is to stay accountable. Track your progress. Check in with your coach if you're working with her, or your personal trainer, or your exercise partner, your success group. Adjust things along the way. Review your plan weekly. That way you're not going to stray too far off course. I also kept myself accountable by taking photos of myself every 30 days. I would do the same poses every 30 days. Some I would notice big changes, other 30-day chunks, I wouldn't notice huge changes at all. But I kept going. And when I lined those up over a year, I was like blown away. Okay? And get creative. Where are the pockets of time that you could use better? Where are there wasted times that you have? Where are you procrastinating? I mean, this is not rocket science to figure out the time. It's just taking responsibility and getting serious and figuring it out. So hopefully those tips helped you. And here's some bonus tips along the way. Whether these may or may not work for you, I have no idea. You know yourself best, but finding those little 10-minute pockets, you can get in great 10-minute workouts a couple times a day. Limit the screen time, the time that you're in front of social media. Using TV time to be active. Maybe you're on a treadmill or an indoor bike or some sort while you're watching TV. Look at the tasks that you have in the house or that you have yard work, whatever. Delegate them. Hire somebody. Look at the things that are eating up your time, or at least you're telling yourself that it's eating up your time. Use positive thinking. Take the guesswork out of your workouts. Stream them at home into your living room. I'll drop my favorites into the show notes so you have those. Use mornings to your advantage, because a lot of times if you have a crazy busy life, the morning's about the only time that you have. So getting up 30 minutes early is the better advantage than trying to squeeze it in later in the day, especially if your day is kind of random in the way the busyness happens. And get in your steps for an added bonus. Just know you always have a choice. It's choosing to let time be that excuse and get yourself off the hook and then be frustrated with yourself year after year, or choose to reframe the situation, figure out a way and look for the possibilities and learn and grow and progress, setting smart, small goals to build your confidence. And as I said before, consistency is your friend. Challenge yourself. Keep moving forward. Don't let yourself off the hook. Your wins are going to add up, and the more and more you keep going over time, you're going to conquer that time excuse. So I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop me a line or hit me up on social media. You can reach me at perry@putyourselffirst.com. Reach out to me with any questions that you might have about food, fitness, even more ideas on effective use of your time. I absolutely love helping people remove the obstacles and barriers that often get in the way of achieving your health and fitness goals. And time is a big one for people. But if you'd like more motivation, strategies, support, tips, then join my Upside Down Fitness community. We're a fun group of people just creating healthy habits in this awesome chapter of life. I do 52 weeks of free coaching in there. Go live every week on there. You'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com. That's all I have for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. And please be sure to share with somebody that you think could get value from this. And also drop into your podcast app, leave an honest rating and review to help others discover this show. And then I can find out and get feedback about what it is that you value or what you would like to have done in the future. And if you're over on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. That will help others discover this show, and you won't miss a show when it gets put in there too. So you absolutely rock, my friend. That's all I have for this week. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.